Hello, everyone. I wanted to make a comment about what's going on in New York, Chicago, and California about the migrants. Well, all this stuff that's going on with the migrants right now is the American black people's fault. It is your fault. It's our fault. Yeah, it's our fault. And the reason why it's our fault is because Dr. Claude Anderson said years ago, back in 95, 96, he said, look, what you got to do is you got to open up businesses in your neighborhood. You got to, start pulling together and, you know, um, keep your money in your neighborhood. Don't go out spending in different places and making other people rich. And and you got to get into politics because that's where it's at. It's politics. Everybody, I don't know, everybody's not thinking about it, or no one's not saying anything about it, but I don't know. It's like if you see a road that has, if you see a road that has um, mud and rocks and snakes crawling across in it, right? Well, what seems to be sensible is not to cross that road. Is not to cross that road. Find another way to get to the other side. And and it seems like black people are not looking at the fact that you have to get into politics. You have to get into politics. That's the bottom line. Politics. Politics. It's going to be a little harder now because you have millions of immigrants that came across the border. So to try to get into politics now, to demand certain things for yourself, it's going to be a lot harder now. A lot harder now. Because in years to come, when those migrants when they set into to the United States and they go all over the place, they're going to stick together, good and bad. Good and bad, you know? And then next thing you know, most of the mayors will be Spanish. It's going to happen in the future. It's going to happen in the future. All right? Now, um, I don't know black people. I don't know. I don't know black people. It just seems like it's a lost battle now. It's a losing battle. Well, it's lost, not losing, but it's a lost battle, right? Because the people that allow them to come in, they're coming into the black neighborhoods, and they showing black people, hey, we're not gonna give you anything. We're gonna give it all to the migrants. All this money they said they didn't have, now all that money is coming out of nowhere to give to the migrants. And if you take notice, who are the ones that's doing it? It's the black people. It's the black people. The black mayor of New York, the black mayor of Chicago. I mean, they're the ones that's doing this. How in the hell? You tell me, how in the hell is it that these black people who are in position to help black people are just doing things to shit on us? How is it? How is it that the black mayors of New York and Chicago are inviting these people in, knowing the money's going to the migrants, nothing to the black people, right? And you're just, inviting them in to come, and I really don't understand, man, how these black people, became in power. Well, I do understand how they became in power, right? I do understand that. You know, um, it's politics. If you got the right thing to say, at the right time, you keep saying it, you got the support. But now, I don't understand, you know, why is it always us that fuck over us? And we always help the opposer, the opposing side, fuck over black people. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand it. You know, and the the governor of of Texas, you know, he's not going for that. He says, nah, no way, no way, no way. But what gets me is that why you wait so long to do this? Why you wait so long? Why didn't you do this 2 years ago when this was happening? You know, millions and millions and millions of people came over across that border. And I'm just trying to figure out what they're trying to do. Are they trying to, subject these people, and over years to come, we can use the new migrants as Democrats to vote for us? We can get what we want. Um, I don't know. I don't know the future of this. But the only thing I can say is that um, black people, you know, um, you've been overrun. You've been overrun. You know, um, Dr. Claude Anderson said years ago, black people, you got to help and do this because there's going to be another race of people that's going to push you down the ladder. And then once they're not giving you anything now as the second race. So if you go down to the third and fourth, you definitely ain't getting anything. You definitely ain't getting anything. And now black people want to get up and, and start yelling and, oh, this ain't right, this and that and the other, you got to stop it, brother. You got this lady in Chicago. She said, oh, you got to stop the buses, brother. You got to stop the buses. He's not a brother. He's not a brother. All right? At that point in time, you shouldn't even be calling him brother. You should be talking to him straight up that, hey, what black people are going through right now. And he doesn't care because, you know what my question is? This is my question. The thing that Biden opened up the borders, right? He opened up the borders. Was he lobbied into opening up the borders? Or did he just do that on his own? That's what I want to know. Did he open this up on his own and gave the order to do this, or was he lobbied into doing this? That's my question. And see, what we have to remember is too, right? Theodore Roosevelt said, "Nothing in politics happens on accident. It doesn't happen by accident. Everything in politics, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose." We have to remember that. Now, I can sit here and just browbeat everybody, because one person can't do it by themselves. It has to be, everyone together, collectively, you know, listening to the information and then going on and exercise it. But black people are just not that way. Black people are just not that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have some black people who are, into business and investing, and, you have some that's rich and you have some that's wealthy, but there's no one, speaking up about, what's going on. You have all these celebrities, Denzel, you got Samuel Jackson, and you got, all these celebrities. Now, Charles Barkley said if he see anybody with a MAGA hat, he was going to punch him in the face, a black person, right? Okay, so if you're willing to go that far to punch a black person in the face wearing a MAGA hat, right? He probably was kidding, but I'm just going to just say this: if you're so angry that person be willing to wear a MAGA hat, why didn't you say something when black people were asking for all these things from Biden and nobody didn't say anything back? They just completely ignored black people. Completely ignored black people. Biden came into the black community, asked for the votes. We gave it to him because Trump was so bad. Now, Trump, everybody's running back to him. Everybody's running back to Trump now. I mean, what kind of game's being played? What kind of game is being played? We ran from Trump into Biden, and then we run right back to Trump. Maybe because there's nobody else to vote for. Maybe it's because there's nobody else to vote for. That's probably why. Well, you know what? Only thing I can say, black people, now you got to work harder. Now you got to work harder. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to work harder, black people, because you have the migrants that's overrun, millions of them. Millions of them. You have millions, you have way more criminals in New York now from the migrants than you did in the city. You had crime going on in the city, but not the way they do crime. Not the way they do crime. Nah, nah, no, not the way they do crime. You know, it's like taking a trained fighting dog and compare it to a wild dog who lived in the wild. He had to go and kill for his food, right? Not a dog that was fed on time every day. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's a hell of a fight right there. A wild dog, right? And these guys are wild because they're coming over with drugs, they're coming over with weapons, and I mean, there's weapons in New York too, but not like the way these guys are coming. You got the cartels and you got all this shit that's coming into the city. And wow, I mean, New York City is supposed to be the money spot. Now, and the same thing with the mayor. I'm just wondering, why would the mayor invite these people to come into them? And I don't know, did he think it was going to make him look good, you know, with the Spanish? Or was he lobbied to do this? That's my question. Was he lobbied to do this? Or was he, or did he just do this on his own? Well, you know what? It's probably be a perfect opportunity. Let me go and get these people, you know, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Did they offer him so much money? Hey, look, this is what we want you to do. We want to bring them in and put them in the black neighborhoods, right? We want you to go get them and bring them in the black neighborhoods. You know, that's what we want you to do. You know, and yeah, that's what we want you to do. You know, we want you to go in and put these migrants in the black neighborhoods. Now, black people, I'm gonna tell you something. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Be careful. Don't be walking the street late at night with your wife or your girlfriend. Same thing with you ladies. Don't be walking the street. I seen some pictures already. Some guys, people from the Transit Authority. The man was attacked. He had a deep cut on his neck. Deep cut. He had to get stitches, and it was a nasty cut. And the migrants did it to him. I don't know if they were trying to rob him or what, right? But be careful, black people. Be careful. Watch your six. Watch your six. Stop walking the street late at night. Stop hanging out at the clubs, all right, on Friday nights, because they're all going to be in there, and it's going to be a whole bunch of shit going down. Whole bunch of stuff going down. So be careful. But what it seems like to me is that whoever engineered this whole thing, they want a war. They want a war between the black people and the migrants. They want a war. They want a war. They want a war to take place. You know, there are many places in the states that they are giving away land, but you put them right there in New York City. You put them right there in Chicago. You put them there in California. Wow. You're putting a lot of people at risk. And, you know, I mean, I know years ago, a lot of white people bought Harlem. A lot of white people bought Harlem. I wonder, are they still living in Harlem now? Are they still living there? Or did they move out? I don't know. I'm just curious. I haven't been to Harlem in a long time. But I'm just wondering, even in Brooklyn. I talked to somebody who lived in Brooklyn and Queens. He said Brooklyn and Queens is gone. He said Brooklyn and Queens is gone. It's done. So, I'm just wondering now, with all those white people that bought into Harlem, bought all those brownstones, fixed them up, coffee shops on the side of the road. Is it still there? Is it still there? Or are they still there? You know? Because New York City is supposed to be the place. That's where the money. How would you? Why would you bring people into the money part of New York? New York City. That's where everybody come and visit. They go to Statue of Liberty. From there, they go to a lot of the famous buildings, a lot of famous areas around in New York City. How are you going to maintain control over the city when you have migrant criminals that came into the city? And what they've been doing? As soon as they got there, they ganged up and they've been going around cutting, fighting, beating up cops, raping, and killing people already. Already. Wow. Wow. And then the mayor of New York, he turns around and, oh, we need help. We need more resources. You should have thought of that before you did it. But see, I don't know what I don't know where his head was at, where his brain was at, because he went to Biden how many times, and Biden sent him away and said, nope, we can't do it for you. Sent him on his merry way. Well, black people, we were warned back in the 90s. And who do I blame for this? I blame the people. Our parents, right? The people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, when Claude Anderson said this. As a matter of fact, Claude Anderson said it again a few years ago in a Boyce Watkins interview. And he was saying it. He said it again. And he said another race of people are going to come in, and they're going to be even more racist than the white predecessor who was oppressing black people. They're going to even be more racist. More racist. Yes. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to be even more racist. And you can see it already. What's happening. Only thing I can say, black people, we just have to just get strong and deep into politics, because that's the thing nobody's talking about. We're on Instagram dancing and shaking our asses and having fun and smiling on Instagram. If that's making you any money, I don't know. And then we're smiling and dancing and singing and tap dancing, right? When we should be serious about what's going on. We need to be serious about what's going on. We dancing in the videos and and having fun and practical jokes all on Instagram. That crap right there just keeps you distracted from what's going on. It keeps you distracted. Because right now, you don't need to be on Instagram dancing and singing and smiling. You know what I'm saying? You need to be focusing your efforts and learning, how to make money, invest your money, and learn financial literacy, and then getting into politics. Because you got to use some of that money you can make and put into politics. But black people now, financial literacy. It's a time now I can make money, and I don't have to work for it. And I can go out and buy a car and Gucci and do all these different things. But we need to be taking our money and getting into politics. That's what the Jews do. That's what the Indians and Chinese do. Black people are the only ones that don't do it. Black people are the only ones that don't do it. We looking to have fun with our money. These guys, these people are taking their money and they doing the right thing with it. They're going into politics. And they've been doing this for years. And they said, well, you know what? We see these people, they starting to get into to financial literacy. They learn how to invest now. Okay, before they get too far, let's nip this in the bud. Open up the borders, let them in. Now, all these people that's coming in from the borders is a distraction, a physical distraction, because they're right there in your face. They're taking your resources. So now what are we going to do? Now you got to do is we have to um um hold on for a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Um what we're gonna have to do is um we're gonna have to um or what should be doing, put it like that, what we should be doing is that we need to be um getting into financial literacy, taking that money that we're making there, and we got to put that money together. We have to put that money together, and we got to go out and find people. Don't lobby people that's already in office. Don't lobby them. Don't lobby them. They've been, they are, you know, they have been, um, uh, they're part of the, they're part of the what's name? They're part of the system. They're part of the system. So what we got to do is we got to take that money you learn from financial literacy, black people, right? And only thing we could do it before you had to be building up a community. You had to be building up a community. But now it's hard to build a community now because, you know, the people living outside your house and back of your house, all around you, they don't look like you now. All right. So if you try to organize anything, it's going to be disrupted by them. So the only thing you can do now, the money you're making from financial literacy, learn how to invest your money and make money. For you guys that's making money, you got to pull together, put your monies together. Not all your money, but you got to put. If everybody was to put in like $1 million, or not $1 million, but $1. If a million people put in $1 together, they can have $1 million. And you got to put that money together. But see, the thing is, we're so black people. We're so fucked up. We're so fucked up that we know we can't do something honestly without, messing up what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We can't do anything without, messing up what we're trying to do. We can't have anybody stealing the money that was put together. You know, we can't mess that up. But we gotta put that money together and go into politics. Find people to put. Find people to put in office. We gotta find people to put in office. You know what I mean? We have to find people to put in office. You know what I mean? We gotta find people to put in office, right? They gotta find people to put in office, and we gotta find people to put in office, and have them, you know, represent black people. Well, that's what we have to do. We have to do that. Because right now, everything's all jacked up. Everything's all jacked up. Everything's all jacked up. Everything's all jacked up. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know, it's a bad situation where we're at now. It is. It's a bad situation. Really bad. So, um, I guess because I've been holding off for the past few weeks. I've been hearing different things go on. You know, Philip White. I'm glad that Philip White been staying on it. He's been staying on it. You know, anything he's so wrong, he's talking about it. He's staying on him. He stays on him. I appreciate that. I'm glad that he is. He stays on him. He ain't. He's not. He's not. Um. He's not. He's not. Sitting back. He got comments every day about what's going on, and I'm glad because he got to stay. He has to stay in the minds in our minds, and and telling us, hey, look, man, this is what we need to be doing. We need to be doing this, and he's reminding everybody every time they say something, the opposing black people, the opposing um, um, white people, when they say something, He's right there commenting about it, talking about it. Hey, you don't want to vote these people back in the office. And he's right. He's right. He is definitely right. And then Ken Ganda, you know, O'Shea, I mean, I got a lot of respect for that guy now because you know what? I didn't realize that's where he was at, mentally. And he's bring up a lot of making a lot of points, through those two guys. And I watch these guys every chance I get because they tell it like it is. They tell it like it is. And we need people like that to keep telling it. But black people, let me say this. If you don't take anything else from anything from what I'm saying, you got to take this. Learn financial literacy. You got to find like-minded people to put your money together. And then you got to put together an organization that go out and look for black people, that looks for black people, right? You got to put together an organization that look for and look for black people that you can put in office. In other words, you got to go to like colleges, go to some of these black colleges, right? And talk to some of these black people who graduate from college, these valedictorians, talk to them. Hey, look, what do you think about politics? You ever thought about going into politics? Go around to these black colleges and start developing, looking for these people. Start looking for these people. What do you think the Jews do? What do you think the Chinese do? They walk around and they find people, that if they can't find anybody that's in office, they go out and they find people who can be put into that position through votes. That's what the Jews and the Indians do. They do that. We're the only ones that are so unorganized. We're so unorganized. And all thing I could do is just sit there and it takes my breath away just thinking about what's happening with us. It does. It takes my breath away. Just thinking about what's going on. Well, tell me what you think. If you can leave a comment or whatever, and but let me say this also. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna shut this thing. That'd be it for right now. We have to have an organization. The organization is going to have like about 10, 15, 20 people. All right? We're all into financial literacy. We take a little bit of monies. We put the monies together to build up the money. As an organization, we got to put that money in some type of brokerage account, build that money up. And after we build that money up, we have to go around to elementary schools, junior high schools, and high schools, planting the seeds in these kids' minds about getting into politics. We got planted in their minds. Plant this information in their minds. Hey, look, I see you as a president. I see you as a governor. I see you as a mayor. I see you as a vice president. Go to these all black schools and tell these little kids that. Put these little seeds in their minds. Now, as time goes by, we have to keep going back. Gotta have an organization to keep going back to these black schools, talking to these kids about going into politics when they grow up, and who you have to stick with, and start like give them like little stickers to put on their chest. Oh, I'm a mayor. I'm a president. I'm a governor. You know what I'm saying? And and let this sink into them. Now, all seeds are not going to germinate. Now, all seeds are going to germinate. But if you can do this to thousands of black kids, put it in their minds that they should get into politics, it's going to stick with them. It's going to stick with them. Yes, it can possibly even change the direction of what they're going to do in life. And then when you get to the colleges, high school and colleges, then you have a different conversation. Look, and to give them the truth about what's been going on in history with black people. And we need you in politics. We need you in politics. The same thing with the college people. And then you go out and you find people that you can get behind and you can push. Raise some money to put that person in power, put that person in position, mayor, governor, assemblyman or representative, Congress. Put these people in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we have to do. That's exactly what we have to do. All right, well, I'm signing off. And black people, I hope you listen to this. If you didn't get anything from it, I'll try and do it better next time.